The event that combines Kingshot and Whiteout Survival Twin Star Adventure is now started. So this is an event where you team up in teams of 3, and it is something that's happening in both of the games. This event is very similar to many of the previous events we have had, so nothing crazy new, except that being in a team adds a few different things to the way the board plays, a few extra reward. And of course, being teamed up with spenders and whales will grant you a decent amount of extra reward, but nothing so crazy. It's not like out of this world insane. Just being in a team will still get you quite a lot of extra stuff. So first things first in this event, Twin Star Adventure. This is the main event. There are going to be a lot of stuff here. So the first thing is, if you click here, it's basic. You roll the dice, you land on a tile. The more times you land on the tile, the more reward it will give the next time you land on it. And you also have special tiles that give a lot of extra reward, as well as bomb tiles, which are brand new. Now, this tile, for example, has a chest, and in this chest, there is the chance of getting a lot of good reward. These are worth quite a few dollars if you were to buy them in packs. And the Twin Star coins are also tradable for a lot of really good stuff, including skins and mithril. So this is, of course, a good tile. But you can see that you also will get something like the coins, but your teammate is also going to get some coins. So you can see my two teammates on the left here, their image are on the board right now, which means that I can land there and give them rewards. So this is one of the aspects. The second one is the bomb. The bomb is for this megalodon in the middle. If you land on the bomb, you will deal hundreds of damage, like 200 damage to the megalodon, and you will give your teammates a bomb that deals 100 damage. So they will get extra bombs. This is going to be for the ranking here. Doing damage to the Megalodon is going to unlock this. So it goes all the way to 8,000 damage for a very decent amount of true gold and reward. So this is very good. And if you cap it, you get this at the end. Now, this is not shared. Everybody has their own. So it's going to, of course, depend. If you have a teammate that keeps giving you bombs because they land on it, you, of course, are going to do better in this event. However, if you're a spender, you most likely will be able to max out this event yourself as well. So this is one source of extra reward. So this event is definitely going to be a spender event. Like, there's no playing around it. All of these events are made for spenders, but there is potential for lower spenders and free-to-play to get some decent stuff depending on who you're matched with. Now, outside of that, pretty similar. You will roll the dice, and as you see, you will land. It will land you where it is. And then, see, I got some coins here. Depending on where it is, there are going to be different reward. My first one was gems. Now, this one is going to be, again, more coins. So these coins are great. And you will see, of course, that the dice can be purchased. So I have purchased exactly all the first packs up to the $10 one. So the first 4 packs for a total of like about 20 bucks US, I believe. And I haven't purchased anything else. So that gave me like 27. You will get more of these dices from a lot of stuff in this event, which I'll go over. But this is the gist of it. You roll the dice and you get rewards. Now, there is also a milestone reward. So this is not amount of dice rolled, but it's the amount on your dice. So if you get, all the way to 2000, there's a lot of these special dice. So these are different dices, a lot of rewards. So I mean, these milestones are good. If you can end on a milestone with spending a little amount of money, it's usually worth it, but that's about it. They're not worth going for other than that. And missions here will give you also extra reward every day, and at the end of it, you will of course have a store. You'll be able to spend your Twin Star coins, and this will be in the Polar Shop. Now, the Polar Shop has a deal every day, which is going to be 2 of these for 60. I believe this is a good deal. Like, 60 is a very small amount in terms of what you're getting. But if you're looking at getting some of these really nice skin, of course, there is going to be new skins all the time. So at some point, I find that there's just so many skins. You just kind of choose which one you want to go for, and you invest in that event, and then kind of like that's it. Now, these 2 skins are great, and they, of course, give the 2% squad attacks for whales and all that kind of stuff. But other than that, there is really no point in purchasing them. There's so much more rewards to be getting here. So unless you're a whale or a high spender, you would ignore the skin, in my opinion. But what I really like here is to see mithril. Mithril is very, very valuable. If you watch my latest video on red gear, you will understand why. But for me, it's one of the hardest resources to get, and you need to spend a lot of money to get very little. Like, 1 mithril is worth $5. So if you think about the fact that even with rolling a few dice, I can already buy 1 of them, like, that's worth $5 to me. So it's very good. Like, it's a very, very good buy. Then most likely true gold. I might go for the gear chest because I have quite a bit of red gear to upgrade. And then the forge hammer. Then the rest is like hero gear and governor gear and stuff, which is good, but not as valuable as true gold and mithril, in my opinion. Now, another thing to cover about the Twin Star Adventure here is going to be the special dice. So I'm going to roll quite a few dice here just to get through it. So first, I'm going to get this chest. So this is a very RNG chest. I got 1,000 coins. So I'm being very lucky on this run. It's not always like that. I'm getting a lot of these. And here, I landed on a bomb. And perfect. Now, I gave all of my allies one bomb. And I did 200 damage to him. So this is a very good kind of point of me showing you guys exactly how everything works. Now, there's so much going on my screen, so, I mean, pretty good. I did a 5 roll, and I got a ton of reward. That was very, very beneficial. So, 2 things happened here. I landed on this bomb. I did 200 damage, so you can see that I got 200 damage. And then I gave 100 damage to both of my allies. So, this is good for them. I'm giving them free rewards. And I also got another one for 100. I don't know, I guess I landed on here. Yeah, so if you land on the starting tile, you also do 100 damage. Landing on the starting tile also gives you a lot of rewards from stuff that you've landed on. So as you can see, it gave me like some of these rewards from here and here and here. So it kind of chooses random stuff that you've landed on, gives you rewards. So it's really, really good. The starting tile is one of the best tiles. And now I will be able to claim this, and I will also be able to claim this. Now, the one last thing I want to talk about is this crystal dice. Now, you will get these from here, as well as if you land. Sometimes I think there's a few places that gives it to you, and so a few other places you can spend for them. Now, what is really important about these crystal dice, in my opinion, is you keep them all for the last day of this event. This is going to let you choose the number. So instead of just doing a normal roll, I'm going to do a roll where I decide the number. So when you've done this game for 6 days, you can see this is in the green, this is in the green. The more you land on these tiles, the better the rewards get. You can see next level, and then there's a next level afterwards, which means that on the last day, you can have maybe, 1, 2, 10, 20 of these crystal dices. You can choose where it lands. So when you're here, let's say, where can I land? 1 is here, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So I would probably choose 3 because I would give my ally some reward, or 4 because there's a chance of getting a lot of coins. If you could land on the chest, then now 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, I land on the chest. You always want to land on the chest. If you have it available, it's really good. So the chest, the starting point, something that gives bonus to your allies, these coins, these are all very valuable ones. And then if you have like a purple tile because you've landed a lot on it, this is where you're going to spend those special points. Now, outside of this, which is going to be the majority of the event, you also have a few other things. So this is the daily thing. So this is something that has also a spending pack. If you are spending money, this is incredibly worth it. You can see there's 10 dices, which is going to translate into a lot of reward. There's also a cool frame, which is pretty nice, but it gives you double daily mission reward. So this is the real value, and it's pretty cheap. Like, it's $5. So this is going to allow you to get way more rewards. So the daily drill hill, these are daily mission. You must do them. There's really no chance of not doing them if you're just playing the game. And you are going to get some free dices here every single day. And if you got this pack, you're going to get twice as much reward. Now, the next pack is quite expensive, but it gives a ton of dices and reward. Like, it is worth it if you're a spender. It is very high value. There's a lot of stuff. But if you're not a spender, it's not as worth it. The $5 one is very, very good. The $20 one, less so. There is less value here. The ×2 here is really what's valuable because of the daily. And this is going to be the main source of your dices for low spenders. And even free to play, you just get less of them. Like, you get more if you spend, but you still get some every day no matter what. And I mean, all of this here, there's a lot of value in this in general. So it's very worth it. Next, we have King of the Arctic. Now, this is probably the biggest trap of the event, as always. These are kind of daily KVK type push event or strongest governor event. You have a way of pushing power. So right now it's power boost. So, doing construction, power research, epic recruitment, whatever. Like, this is one way of using these things. Like, I have 1,000 of these keys. So sure, I can get a lot of points in this event. It's one way of getting these keys. I have a whole video on keys that kind of like shows you why you should save up your keys. So I recommend you watch that. But it's still a decent way of getting some power. However, first of all, strongest governor and KVK are way more important, so you should not be wasting anything on these events. They're pretty much trash. There is also a very small amount of reward per day. Like, even if you're in top 1, the rewards are pretty bad. But let's be honest, most people are not going to get top 1 because there's going to be always a well. Let's say you're in the 4 to 10. Like, the around rewards are so bad. It is so trash. 3,000 gems and 15 hours of speed up total. This is daily, of course. Every day there's like, plus or minus similar reward. Like, some of them have keys, whatever. But it's such a low amount of reward for, like, you can see, like, right now, number one is 3 million, 3 million, 3 million. There's so many millions of power being wasted here. And, like, why? Like, you just get the daily minimum. Like, there's these keys and stuff and these gems and these whatever, like, dices. Like, that's it. I got a bit more than minimum because I trained troops, whatever, for something else. But I don't need to push any more than that. That's all you need. Am I going to be spending, like, hundreds of keys and troop promotions and speed ups and resources for 4,000 gems? I don't think so. Like, I'm going to need to spend dozens and dozens of dollars every day to be in the top, and it's going to give me something worth $3. So no, thank you. Total ranking is better, but again, you're not going to be in the top 1 without spending hundreds of dollars. So you're going to be in the top 4 to 10. I can get this pack for $20. Am I going to spend $200 to get $20 worth of reward? No, because I'm going to save it for KVK and get way more out of it. So, I mean, this is always the same thing. I find these events a huge trap in this game. I would always avoid them. There is so much better stuff to spend your earned savings on that will give you way more rewards. Now, the last few ones here, it's pretty much the basic one we see at all the times. This is the kind of stuff that you just do stuff every day and you will get it. The one here is the pack purchase. You need to purchase a pack that contains 2.5k points. So that's like a $5 purchase. And this gives you the most reward because it unlocks this one, which has a ton of extra reward, skin tokens, and this row, as well as this row. If you're a free-to-play and you're not spending any money at all, you're still going to get these row and this row. Like, there's still a few dices. Like, it's definitely worth it. But the big price here is minimum of a $5 spend. It gives you a ton of reward, and it's very much worth it if you are spending in this game. Of course, if you're not spending, you don't have to. No problem. You just get the rest of the stuff for free. But this is the trap of this event. Really, it's going to get you most of the rewards by spending. Now, for spenders, there's also the topping up one. So you can see I topped up 33,000 from buying all the keys and this event stuff. And this gives you, you know, a frame here, which is cool. Like, there's new cosmetics. And then, of course, this is the penguin movement. So, I mean, those are great. Everybody loves them. This is one of the, you know, main reasons people spend on these events for showing off purposes. This and the skin, of course. So, I mean, this is cool. Like, it's nice for people who spend like me. But you need to spend, you know, 33,000, which is like almost over $50, I believe. So it's a decent amount of money. So it's just for those of you, you know, it's completely cosmetic. There is really low value in anything else. It's really just for the show off of it. So that's about it for this event. Of course, you can see that I, you know, got quite a few rows. I've done, you know, maybe like a dozen of these rows, and I got really lucky, but I got 2,400 of these coins already. So you can see that, you know, all of these coins I can trade in for a very decent amount of reward. Like, this is $15 worth of reward right there. So of course, for free to play, you're gonna get limited value, but there is really good value in this event if you're a spender and if you're free to play. These are great events to get you stuff. So just make sure you do the daily mission here and the daily stuff in here to get as many of these free rolls as possible. If you're spending, there's a few places that are better than others, as I mentioned, and outside of that, well, the more you spend, the better value, but that's for most things in this game. However, in terms of value gain for money spent, this is definitely one of the highest events we've seen. And as always, thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you on my next video.